Is this the most important video that I film every year? I think it is. For today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you the best makeup that I've tried in 2023. The creme de la creme, the top of the pyramid products that I tried. I have 32 products, which I average around 30 every single year, but this is the year that I've tested, I want to say, the most amount of products. So there was a lot of really great items I had to get kicked off this list. So if you notice anything missing, don't make me feel bad. Don't tell me about it. I've been stressing over this. I made this list like 4 days ago, and I've been adding and taking away the last 4 days, and I was like, we just gotta film it. So, just so you know, these are all of the best products that I tried in 2023. Not like my all-time favorites. I have a top 3 in every category if you want to check that out. But some of these products, they slayed this year. So let's go ahead and get into it. Starting off with our primary kind of products. By the way, I did post yesterday the worst of 2023. If you want to get a little giggle and gaggle, you know, there were some bad ones too. But this year, what was great. So one thing that I was obsessed with, particularly in the summer, but it still is a product that I'm using, is from Supergoop. This is a little bit more skincare-y here. This is the Glow Screen in the shade, I don't think there's a shade to this, and if there is, I'm not seeing it. Anyways, the Glow Screen. So this is an SPF, though I was told it is better to put an SPF underneath and then this on top because this isn't like a great high strength SPF, so just keep that in mind. But whatever, I'll take the extra SPF. It's important. I live in Miami, but I feel like it's hydrating and it leaves the prettiest glow. I mean, I'm talking a glow that's prettier than a lot of makeup primers. So not only are you getting the added benefits of SPF, but the glow, it's not a glow from within. You know, there's some oomph to it, but it still looks kind of unnaturally natural. It just looks great. It's an amazing makeup primer consistency because of the hydrating factor, and anything you put over top doesn't really get disrupted, which is something I notice a lot with a lot of different SPF type products. This is amazing. I use it every single day in the summer. So this one I've actually talked about a lot in my videos recently since I'm doing a lot of roundup videos, but the Hard Candy Sheer Glow Sheer Envy Glow Serum Primer. I cannot get over the fact that this is under $10. It's heavier because it's like an oily kind of consistency, but it's really deeply hydrating and gives a pretty metallic, almost bronzy kind of glow that is amazing to peek through. It is strong enough to peek through like tinted moisturizers, skin tint situations like that, and even heavier coverage. But it's going to take a little bit of time. I will warn you to go light when using this because it can get a little bit oily and heavy, particularly if you have oily skin. I have more dry skin. It was a little difficult to use since I live in Miami, but on drier days, this is amazing. It's just one of the best primers I've tried. I have to adjust how much I used based on the weather for the day, but I don't know, I love this. I love the glow that it gives, and I love the deep hydration that it gives, and I love that the glow is strong enough to show through even the fullest coverage of foundations. It might take a little bit of time for those fuller coverage foundations, but as the day wears on, you will see this come through. This year wasn't a super foundation heavy year. I feel like that was last year, but there were some products that slayed the face. I need to stop saying slay. Anyway, so the first one is a foundation from Glossier, and I feel like this did not get the attention it deserved. This is a fantastic foundation launch. So they call this the Stretch Fluid Foundation. I feel like it's really skin-like but still gives a medium coverage, and it still kind of smooths the appearance of the skin. It looks like, I don't want to say a second skin because it's a little bit more perfecting to be believable as a second skin, but it feels lightweight. It's pretty hydrating if you have drier skin. It's just one of those foundations where, why is my hair sticking all up on my face? But it's just one of those foundations where every day that I wear it, I feel like I'm having a good skin day, and that says a lot. So I feel like the foundation launches were pretty minimal, especially compared to last year, but this is such a good product. It gives you that Glossier skin, but actually giving you coverage, because the original Glossier foundation, it was like tinted water. This one actually gives you some coverage, but it gives you that plump, youthful look to the skin while giving you coverage for us girls that need it. This next product is very, very special because it's the only product that I didn't try in 2023. I tried it years ago, honestly, but I decluttered it from my collection for a while because it had expired and I didn't repurchase it, but I did repurchase it this year and it literally became my #1 favorite foundation. So this is the Tom Ford Traceless Foundation Stick. I'm not acting happy right now because I have not happy news. Why is this on 50% discount everywhere? I mean, it's great. You can get it for $45 because this will burn a hole in your wallet. It's literally $90, which is ridiculous. I can justify that $90 price because it literally looks like your skin and you have customizable coverage. You can go from light then all the way to full, and your makeup will look amazing no matter what. It literally will look like your skin. It lasts all day. It's amazing for events. I will wear it without any powder out in the Vegas heat, and my skin looks amazing. It's the best foundation. Now, I'm upset you can get it for 50% off because it's 50% off everywhere. You know what that means most of the time? They're discontinuing it or reformulating it.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine.
So if you want it, and you can find it in your shade, you better pick it up because I think they're getting rid of it and this is the best foundation. Rant over. Tag Tom Ford. They need to know how mad I am. Let's continue this on. So these two products I'm kind of counting as one because they're like one in the same. I love them both for the same reasons, but they're both equally as good, where if I left one out, it just wouldn't have been right, because they both are equally as good. So we're talking skin tints. Now last year a bunch of skin tints launched and TBH, hated them. They looked really heavy on my skin. They emphasized my texture like no others. I don't know what board meeting all these brands had for 2023, but there was some sort of meeting where they were like, we can't have this anymore. Everybody's skin is looking porous and disgusting, and they fixed those formulas and came out with brilliance, because skin tints were popular last year, but they were bad. These skin tints, oh. So we have the Danessa Myricks Yummy Serum Skin Tint. Hydrating, evens out the coverage of the skin, feels lightweight, just an amazing true skin tint. I put it on my forehead. I love it on my forehead. And then I also wanted to demo for you the Hourglass Hydrating Skin Tint Veil. This one has like the touchiest little bit more coverage. So if you're going for a little bit more coverage, go for the Hourglass, but again, it's equally as hydrating. It feels as lightweight and it is as skin-like. So if you want more coverage, I would say go for the Hourglass, but the Hourglass is a significant higher price tag. So if you're money conscious here, then I would definitely go for the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin, but both of these gems. Use these all the time, especially in this Miami humidity, because I didn't want my sweat to run the full coverage off of my face. These skin tints withheld my sweat very well because there's nothing I can do about the sweat. So when I was sweaty, my face looked okay with those. And then lastly, I literally forgot that this launched last year. It has become an important. It's established dominance in my makeup routine. I just go to it when I need a powder foundation. So Makeup Forever reformulated their HD Skin powder foundation, and I was pissed. Because their old formulation was amazing. But guess what? The new one is even better. Hallelujah, praise the gods. Listen, powder foundations do not get enough love. And I'm also part of the reason I mostly talk about liquid foundations. I need to do an all powder face. It's just like creams are so popular right now. But if you live in a humid climate, I find a powder foundation to be really nice. I haven't worn it as much as I would like. It was definitely the first 6 months of the year that I was wearing this, but it still is my new favorite powder foundation. And I feel like it wears down like a liquid foundation, so it doesn't look powdery or heavy on the face. It's just honestly quicker to apply, but then throughout the day, you can't even tell that your foundation is literally powder. Even as somebody with dry skin, though I would recommend to hydrate generously beforehand, but this powder, relatively hydrating. If you haven't given powder foundation a try, it's so quick and easy to put on. I definitely recommend this one. While I said foundations were lacking, the concealers, it's crazy here. I have 7 favorite concealers for the year. I couldn't dock any of them off the list. These, not only did the concealers launch this year were they so amazing, but they literally, these are like my top 7 ever. It's crazy. Which is funny because last year I was complaining that there was no good concealers. I literally only had 1 that launched last year that I love. This year we have 7, and for all different reasons. Don't ask me my favorite because I don't know. Depends on the day. So this is the first concealer to launch for the year, which I want to say for the first 7 months of the year carried the concealer team. This is the Urban Decay Naked Naked Quickie Concealer. She's full coverage, she's long wearing. She's not very hydrating, but not drying. You know what I mean? It's not a concealer I would consider hydrating, but that's great because it's not drying and it lasts a long time. This is for perfection. This is for events. Full coverage, not too hydrating, but very long wearing, but still not drying. That's how I would describe this. If I need to look snatched, this is what I'm going for. Probably my most used concealer of the year, I would say. It has really become an all-time favorite concealer. Next up, this one I recommend for mature under eyes. This is a luxury love. This is the Gucci Beauty concealer. What do they call it? The multi-use longwear concealer. This is almost like a soft powder. This has like a soft powder finish to it, which I think is going to be really beautiful on mature under eyes because you don't really need to set with this. It's not necessarily self-setting, but it has that soft dry down to it that is not drying because it actually has a very blurring consistency and it feels feather light on the under eyes. I have it on this one. It's just a really softening look to the under eyes and it feels really lightweight. This is a very, very unique formulation. There is not another formulation in my collection that is like this and it kills it. It's so good. Now this one is a later discovery, but whew, this Kofi concealer, full coverage and hydrating. It does have a glow to it as well. So if you don't like that glowy finish, don't go for this, but I know those girls that want that glowy look, this will give it to you. But it's interesting because it's also very full coverage. So this is a very unique concealer because a lot of times glowy concealers, it doesn't translate into coverage. This is one of the few that do, and it does literally feel hydrating on the under eyes. Don't have another formula like this once again. I mean, it's similar to the new House Labs that just launched, but this one is just better. Love this. Wears really great too. I gotta keep going faster with these concealers. Oh my. I did do a new concealer rankings, which has most of these, in case you kind of want to see where these line up against one another. I want to say this is the concealer of the year, but it's fighting with other ones here. But this is the Tower 28 Serum Concealer. You can use this as literal foundation. It is that beautiful on the skin. And for it being that serum-y kind of feel, it's very interesting how much coverage this gives you. It's not quite full, but it's just under there. And it also is very, very hydrating on the under eyes and looks really smooth. Hence why I also just literally put it all over my face and my skin looks glowy and healthy with this. So very versatile, also quite a unique formulation given the coverage that it gives. This one is fighting for first place. There's like 3 of them fighting for first place, but that's one of them. I have not met a single person who did not like the Natasha Denona High Glam Concealer. I was doubtful of Miss Denona for her concealer work because her last concealer that I think this one replaced was so drying and horrible, one of the worst concealers I tried. Well, thank gosh she turned it around because she literally created one of the best concealers ever created. I have not heard a negative thing in the comments about this concealer, which is very, very rare because you guys are quite opinionated. It's a little bit thicker than the Tower 28, but it's similar in that it's very hydrating and has really good coverage and is very smoothing on the under eyes. It also has quite a multi-purpose formulation because this is beautiful all over the skin as well. I love how soft and smooth my skin looks when I wear this. It almost just blends out onto the skin like butter. It's delightful. Now for my no makeup days, this concealer, it's $60. So I'm not telling you to buy it, but I will tell you it was worth my $60. So this is from Tom Ford. It's the Traceless Soft Matte Concealer. And let me just say, it's literally the love that I have for the foundation in a concealer stick. This is a product you can wear without any other makeup. That's really rare for concealers because sometimes if you just apply a concealer, like, you look like you have just concealer on. This has such a skin-like finish. It does only give light coverage, but I'm telling you, if you're running out for the day, you just want to look a little bit more put together, a little bit more awake, I rub this on my ring finger, blend it out underneath my eyes and over any blemishes I might have. Sometimes I'll just put it over my cheeks just to reduce some redness and you're good to go. It has such a skin-like finish to it. I remember I got my brows done by Benefit and I wore this concealer that day just to make myself look a little bit more awake. And they were like, oh my gosh, your skin looks amazing. And I was like, I have this on. They couldn't even tell. So there you go. And then lastly, I did want to throw in this drugstore option. This is the Essence Keep Me Covered Concealer. This is similar to the Tower 28. It just has less coverage. This one's definitely lighter coverage, but it has that really hydrating serum-y kind of feel, which I just feel like, I want to say the drugstore market hasn't mastered, but they actually launched a couple of concealers that are similar to this. The Physicians Formula Butter Glow is another option that's pretty much on an even playing field with this. I just wanted to pick one because my list of concealers was a little bit too long. So you can go for either the Essence or the Physicians Formula Butter Glow if you want something similar to the Tower 28. Both of them do not have as much coverage, but they have that really beautiful hydrating finish that is gorgeous all over the skin, not just on the under eyes. But I was really shocked that Essence came out with this because it's fantastic and it's only $5. Okay, powders. I have two Winter Chicken Dinners right here. The first one, a newer one for me, but thank you because you guys suggested it for me, because you know I love a good blurring loose setting powder, and this is right up there with my Huda Beauty and my Maybelline. So this is a Givenchy Prisme Libre setting powder. I have it in Voila Rose. Now I'm trying to pronounce it in like Spanish. Anyways, very, very blurring. I only have it on one side of my face, and honestly, you can tell. This is so extremely blurring and it lasts all day. It really helps contain the oils. I see why people talk about this so much. I see it. This is a top 3 loose powder for me. Right up there with Huda and with Maybelline, who I've been talking about for years, as irreplaceable. In some ways, this is actually a little bit more hydrating than the Huda Beauty, I'd like to add. So if you have drier skin, you will like this better. There's something that's a little bit more hydrating about it. And then, okay, I did use it to set the side of my face, but I don't necessarily love this as a setting powder. But anyways, this is the NARS Soft Matte Advanced Perfecting Powder. I have mine in the shade Cove. This gives you a little bit of coverage, a little bit of color. So I like this more so, I guess it's like a finishing / touch-up powder. I'll go for something like the Givenchy to snatch up, smooth up the under eyes. And then I like to take this, and since it has more of a brightening color that has more pigment, sometimes I'll put it over the powder to brighten up the under eyes. But I also like to take, you know, a sponge like this, and I'll use it to just brighten up areas where I need that extra little bit. Like, you see how I didn't do that very nicely, but you get the idea. You see the color that it adds. It just finishes up, brightens, and cleans up areas of the face, and the finish is really beautiful. Like I said, not as blurring as that Givenchy, but a gorgeous product that I've utilized so many times this year just to finish off the look and make everything look more, you know? Cream contour. Oh my goodness. This Tarte Sculpt Tape, I like it better than the Charlotte Tilbury. Now this particular color, soft bronze, definitely more bronzy than the Charlotte Tilbury, but I feel like this formula has a little bit more thickness to it, but is just as easily blendable as the Charlotte Tilbury. So the Charlotte Tilbury is a little bit more watery. Like I said, this one is thicker, but it still blends out just as nice, and I do like the bronzier look that it gives me. It just looks creamier on the skin as I blend it out, and a little bit more even than the Charlotte Tilbury. So yeah, I've been reaching for this over the Charlotte Tilbury. I love this super easy shape. I bring it with me on vacation. It blends out like a dream. It's perfect for those summer vacations. This is my favorite formula. It's so good. And then I do have a powder bronzer, and this is one of those products again where I'm like, did this launch this year? I've used it so much that I feel like I've been using it for way over a year. So this is from Pat McGrath, and this is her powder bronzer in the shade Nude Honey. Now, what's interesting about this is I was like, this bronzer, like, it's good, but it doesn't stand out in the market. There's so many good bronzers out there. That was my original review. Now, time told the true story, because suddenly I was just reaching for this bronzer mindlessly, day after day after day, because this Nude Honey color is perfect on my skin tone. Not too warm, not too cool, not too much pigmentation. So I've just found that it's so flattering on me and so flattering for so many looks and a good long-lasting formula that I've been reaching for this subconsciously. You know, when I just need to grab a bronzer really quick, it's this one. That means it's easy to use and I know it's gonna look good. So even though in the moment of the review this did not stand out to me, what really matters is how often I use it right. And this was beating out all of my other bronzers. So I definitely had to put this in this video because it was my most used of 2023. Now, the formulas are beautiful no matter what color you get, but I'm just saying for my skin tone and what I want, Nude Honey is the way to go. And then I do have a cream blush formula that I haven't been able to put down. I mean, this year was the year of blushes. And surprisingly, I don't have a ton of blushes because they're all kind of one and the same, you know? A blush is a blush. I can be really picky about my reviews and I'll tell you everything you need to know, but at the end of the day, I find it very easy to adjust to the formula of the blush and it makes me look blushy. But this cream formula, I love the longevity of it and how healthy, juicy, and youthful it looks on the cheeks. So this is from Nude Sticks, and it's their Nudies Matte and Glow Core All Over Face Blush Color. Now, I did just introduce Sunset Gold to my collection for the most recent Sephora sale, but I've been using Rose Glow. So how it works, as far as I'm aware, this is like the ring around, the regular formula, which is beautiful. But this little circle in the center is almost like skincare. It's going to give that glow that they're talking about. And boy, does it give the most youthful, healthy, plumpened look to the face. If you want your smile, your cheeks to pop out and just look fresh, this is the formula for you. It's very easy to blend out. I don't want to say it's not the most malleable, but it's not like watery or anything, so it lasts a really long time. You don't really even need to set it with powder, so you can keep that juicy look it gives your cheeks. It's stunning. And then I did also want to talk about, I was reaching for these from the drugstore a lot. There are some caveats that I'm going to mention. One being, as beautiful as these Essence Pure Nude Baked Blushes are, don't buy many colors because a lot of the colors look the same, which is going to save you more money in the long run. So these are a baked blush. They have shimmer to them. You have to be careful what color you pick up because some have a little bit of glitter to them, but some are also extremely smooth if you get a good one. I used the shade Pink Flush. This is one that has a little bit of glitter, but pretty peach. Not a speck of glitter in this, and it gives the prettiest flush to the cheek. It does have that glowy finish, so do be warned, but it really does give a healthful glow to the cheek. It's very easy to apply because it's not too much pigmentation as well. It's not intimidating. Just a formula I found myself continuously reaching for, and because it has a more sheer pigment, it's also great for setting cream blushes since cream blushes were such a hot product this year. Finishing up complexion with our last 3 products. I have 2 powder highlights. Wasn't into liquid highlights this year, or any year for that matter, but this really did launch in 2023, like very, very early in the year, but it really is a beautiful highlight that I was using a lot. It's quite expensive. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Glow Glide Face Architect Highlighter in Champagne Glow. It's a nice, beautiful, glowy highlighter, which I think also is going to look good on mature skin. I definitely use it a little bit more in the first half of the year, but I don't know, it's just really, really buttery. I do struggle with this because I've been saying lately highlighters are another one of those products where they're kind of like a dime a dozen. You can get a really good highlighter from the drugstore. This is most definitely very far from the drugstore price point, but I've been using it a lot, and I would be lying if I said otherwise. So if you want to buy a highlight from Char Char, it's beautiful, it's buttery. Another beautiful and buttery highlight that I love. This one took over the second half of the year, and I think it's worth the money. It's from Too Faced. It's from a random like space-themed collection that they did. This is the Moon Crush Out of This World highlighter in Shooting Star. Oh my gosh, this feels like soft velvet butter, even more buttery than the Charlotte Tilbury. Did I put Charlotte Tilbury on this cheek or this cheek? I think I put Charlotte Tilbury here, and then I don't know. Anyways, whatever cheek I put it on, you see it in the demo. It has one of those formulas where you can't tell where the formula starts and ends from where you applied it. So I don't want to say it gives a glow from within look because it is abnormally glowy. That is not coming from within your body. But it has that kind of finish because of how well it blends into the face. So seamless. That's the word I was looking for. So dang seamless. I haven't been able to put this highlighter down. And then the last complexion product that I have, I was talking about it so much that I literally had to boycott myself from using it and using other things and talking about it in my videos. I couldn't talk about it for a few videos because it's getting ridiculous. And how many times can I explain this Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit Unlocked palette? Now, my favorite, to round it up, was the Leopard palette. I will say Jellyfish has been growing on me lately, but I just find these palettes to be worth every penny. And I know so many of you guys who followed me, did you guys see there was a 50% off code that I shared with you? And I knew it was not supposed to be to the public. So I shared it, and it lasted about 2 or so hours before they shut it off, because Hourglass will never have a sale that big. So a lot of you got it 50% off, but worth the full price, in my opinion. Even more worth it at the 20% off they had for Black Friday, and for 50% off, like, they were pretty much giving you money, I felt like. But Hourglass has the most beautiful powder formulations that, to be honest, I find no other brands are able to replicate. The blushes blend so buttery. It's about how they sit on the skin in real life in the sunlight. It doesn't look like powder, which is incredible. You know, I love this formulation right here. The finishing powders just gives that final touch to give that seamless blend all over the face. The highlight in here is beautiful. And in terms of tones of colors, the Leopard was my favorite. I think it flatters my skin tone the best. Jellyfish for the lightest one, and then what was the last one with the deeper tones? Those are better for deeper skin tones. That's the only one that didn't really work out for me. But I purchased, well, I didn't purchase. I was gifted, but I've purchased them every single year. I would have purchased them if they weren't gifted. All 3, they're amazing. I can stop talking about that, but that one was my favorite, and this was her chance to shine in this video. Okay, eye products, very minimal. I mean, I don't go against the grain too much, right? I'm inspired by what I see online as a content creator. So the girlies were going lighter on the eye makeup this year, and as somebody who has loved eyeshadow and eyeshadow palettes so much, it hurt me a little bit. But I've also been enjoying a lighter, simpler look. So products that help me achieve that. First of all, eyebrows. I'm very, very picky about my eyebrow gel. Rare Beauty did something so random, and they launched a limited edition brow gel. I've never heard of a limited edition brow launch, but it's a shame because this brow gel is amazing. So the Rare Beauty Flexible Lifting Gel. So this kind of gives that lifted, laminated look if you so desire. You don't have to do that. You can just give yourself a normal brow look, but this is going to give me hold that so many brow gels do not give. I have very stubborn eyebrows. They don't listen to like 90% of what is on the market, but this is one that they do, and I think what makes this special is that a lot of times with these laminating brow gels, they leave kind of like dandruff in the eyebrows. It's not literal dandruff, it's just like white specks in the eyebrows. This doesn't leave that behind. No matter how much I layer and layer and layer, and my brows like stay looking like this all day. So this is incredible. I hope they rethink the limited edition decision, because this really is one of the best brow gels. You guys know I love my Too Faced one, but lately that's been giving me like the white marks in my eyebrows, so I'm actually coming back to this. I think I might like it better now. Never thought I would say that. And then in terms of eyes, I've really been enjoying like single pot shadows and stick shadows. So if you want a little bit of glitter to finish it off, I need Half Magic to come out with more colors of their glitter pucks. This one is Dopamine Sparkle. It's just the most pretty, sparkly product you will have ever laid your eye on. Eyes, you have 2, I'm assuming. You might have 1. It's the prettiest product your eyes will ever behold. Truly. Even on the eyelid, like you see this glitter, it's from this product. Half Magic, please, please, please come out with more colors. I need it. And when you touch it, it's a really unique feeling. It's almost cold to the touch, but it's like a cream, but a pressed powder. It's very interesting how it feels. It just gives the prettiest speckled glitter look, and you can put it on top of eyeshadow. I don't find that it creases really. It's just going to enhance any look, especially if you like glitter. And then for eyeshadow sticks, this color in particular from Rare Beauty, this is the All Above Weightless Eyeshadow Stick in Well-Being. This is like just a shimmery pink, but it gives the most eye-awakening effect. So I love to put my bronzer in my crease and then just put this all over my eyelid, and I just feel like my eyes instantly look not only bigger, but also more awake, especially if you also line it along the lower lash line or even just like right here. Boom. you got 3 extra hours of sleep at least by doing this technique. It also is quite creamy as well, and it does really good on the creasing front. I do find a lot of eyeshadow sticks crease on me. This one, I will get like one major crease line. You see this? That's where it creases, but honestly, I'm okay with that. Such a pretty color, I don't even mind. I also discovered like the best, I don't want to say Tom Ford dupe because it's not exactly, but it reminds me a lot, you know, of my Tom Ford liquid liner that I'm obsessed with? There's a tiny side to it, and the dupe for that is the Tarte Double Take Awake liner duo. So first of all, one side is a nude pencil. This lasts in the waterline forever. I don't know what voodoo magic they put in it, but this will stay in my waterline forever. And even the best of the best eyeliners don't really last like that for me. So this defies the laws of water. Moisture? I don't know. It's waterproof. Let me just put that. And then also the liquid liner side is a dupe for that Tom Ford liquid liner, the smaller side, because it's so tiny and it's so black and then it doesn't run. It's incredibly precise. Randomly an amazing liner that I got in a BoxyCharm or something. And then lastly, mascara. I would say the best new mascara for me, that worked for me, was the Fenty Beauty Hella Thick Mascara. I've heard a lot of you do not like this mascara, so just keep that in mind. But as somebody who's working with nothing, this actually gives me a little bit of thickness and a little bit of length. I do apply my mascara, right, and I wait until it fully dries, and then I'll curl it again. And this mascara stays during that second curl, so we like that. So I know my eyelashes look crunchy, but at least you can see my lashes. That's the point. Seeing my lashes is the win here. And this one really does give a thickness that so many mascaras don't. Now, lips. You can tell I was in my lip liner, lip oil era. I stayed away from really thick, drying lip products this year for the most part. So my everyday lip consisted of a lip liner. And you know, I have my staples, Makeup Forever, Pat McGrath, Charlotte Tilbury. But I can't believe that these launched this year because I've been using them so much as well from Tower 28. These are their multi-liners. I have 3 shades. I think these are the only 3. Fill Me In, Draw Me, Work of Art. The perfection in these shades. They're the prettiest nude skin tone shades, and they look great with a bare lip and just a little bit of gloss lip oil or balm over top. So I've been using these a lot. You can use them elsewhere on your face, like eyeliner and whatnot. I've just liked these colors for lip liner, really. So that's the new addition to my loves of lip liners, and it's a pretty tight-knit club. I'm very, I don't want to say picky with my lip liners. I have a lot, but I circulate like the same 5 for the most part, and these have kind of snuck their way into the club. And then surprisingly no lipsticks, just like lip oily products were new that I discovered this year because again, I've been wearing the same lips over and over and over again, which I'm not proud of because I'm one who really rotates my collection, but I failed in the lip department. So I discovered this product from Lawless, the Forget the Filler Lip Plumping Line Smoothing Gloss. Oh, this is so beautiful. It does all of that plumping because of the gloss. I want to say it actually makes my lips bigger. Smoothing. Just, I love the tip of it. It's the perfect shape for the lips. It has a thickness to it, so it has some decent longevity. It's perfect for that lip liner, lip glossy gloss look to the lips. And then also on the drugstore front here, the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Yummy Gloss, another product that I just love to put on my lips all day. It smells so good. It leaves behind the prettiest glow as well. They have a lot of colors. They're more sheer. You don't need a ton of colors. It smells like a pina colada. Smell like you're on vacation, even though I don't drink. I like pina coladas without alcohol. So these honestly are more closely related to lip oils, I would say, as opposed to lip glosses. But these have replaced, in the drugstore family, my love for the Maybelline lifter glosses. I've been reaching for these more because I feel like they have more shine. The lifter glosses from Maybelline give more color, but these give more shine, which is more so what I'm looking for nowadays. And then the last product, I would say this is the #1 lip product of the year for me. The most reflective lip oil. It's literally like a mirror. This is from Clarins. It's the Lip Comfort Oil, like glass on your lips. I do suggest getting the darker colors, like there's raspberry, this one is cherry, because it almost gives like a lip stained look. And if you really want to win, put on a lip stain underneath, and then put this over top. This one completely deletes all line on my lips, makes my lips poke out because of the glare that it gives. And with a lip liner, I remember like one of the first times I tried this, I just turned my camera on and I was like, look at this and see what happens in my lips. I felt like quadrupled in size. That's so dramatic because my lips are so tiny, but it gave me some plump. Whew. Okay, wait, is that it? Those were all of my favorite products for the year 2023. I'm looking. It was a pretty successful year. There were some really, really nice products that I tried this year. I think 2022 had better launches, but it also had a lot worse launches too. This year, I feel like there wasn't that many major fails. The quality of products this year was very, very good. These were the ones that stood out on top. Now, family of concealers wins the top prize for this year because the concealer launches were absolutely unreal how amazing they were. That's by far the best category of launches this year. Also, lip oils. Really great lip oils came out this year. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. I want you to just take a moment and think, what were your favorite products that launched during this last year? Do you have any similarities to me? Do you disagree? I want to hear it all. This is my favorite video of the year because it really just rounds up my entire year of work. So let's get some conversations going in the comment box. Oh, by the way, in terms of eyeshadow palettes, I know I didn't feature any. I'm gonna be doing like 2 eyeshadow palette videos, a whole rankings and then a top 10. So you'll see that as well. So peace out, Girl Scouts.